right. We can do a show. I'll do a show by myself, I guess. It's a Christmas, very Stancil Christmas, and a special show. And boy, we have a cavalcade of special guests who may be calling in. One just popped in the waiting room. This second will be on here in just a second, as we have much to discuss with him. Mr. Mask is under the weather, and I couldn't make, due to technical difficulties, I couldn't make Ski Mask show last week. So I figured, what the hell? I'll give this a whirl, doing it by myself, even though I hate and suck at hosting. It's Christmas, and by God, what a gift we were given this week. The reunion of Kevin Brennan and Brian P. McCarthy, the best podcast duo in the history of podcasting. Brian McCarthy, if you watch Akumia's show, I've never seen Kevin laugh that hard, or Kumia laugh that hard, or even Levy laugh that hard. Something Chad could never, ever do. And like I said to a couple of people, it reminds you what we've been robbed of on MLC. Listen, I'll never miss an episode because Kevin's fucking hilarious. But when you see Brian on a show with Kevin, you really see the depth of depravity that Chad brings to the show, and what we're missing out on, frankly, because Chad just stinks. He's a great foil for Kevin and Levy, and that's about the end of it. Brings nothing to the show at all, never has. So hopefully 2023, Chad's starting his new life. Let's get Chad off MLC. Fade Chad off MLC. Fade Stevie back in. Oh, what a Christmas miracle. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing as Chad fades into obscurity and Stevie is back and better than ever. My God. Well, fuck it. Let's go to our guest. Let's go to my co-host today, maybe even. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl DeJokes, fan favorite.
Jim Pencil, Merry Christmas.
There you go. He's off to the races already.
But I'm just Carl. This Jokes to Carl. It's like a Twitter handle. I wish I could get rid of it. Just Carl.
Just Carl. All right,
FYI.
Carl. Now, Carl, let's start at the beginning, and then when we'll get to the end, we'll stop. Let's start with, you accused Gino of doing this very program before he did your podcast. Do you care to? You called Gino out for doing this shitty show, some would say, before he did your show.
No.
What do you have to say for yourself?
This is what I have to say for myself. I have always wanted Gino on my podcast. We watch a full-length movie, and I have a celebrity comedian countdown. You know, they start the movie because everyone at home has to press play at the same time as we do. That's all. I love Ski Mask. I wasn't on his podcast, but I was with him, and I think it was called What's the Worst That Could Happen? I forget. I'm a fan of Ski Mask. I'm a fan of yours. I was not starting beef. I was just trying to convince Gino to come on already.
All right. That's a good answer. I'll accept that answer.
That's it. That is it.
I made sure Ski Mask got sick so I can get you on the show. That was what happened there.
Smart.
Now.
You know, is it COVID? Because he should have worn a mask.
Oh, God. I don't have a soundboard here, Carl, but keep doing it. We'll do it in our heads. But that was a good one.
I have questions for you.
Please. I have absolutely nothing. This might be a 10-minute show.
Did I catch it right that you broke the abacus, or it broke further on Gino's show? We lost another
row of that terrible, terrible Japanese counting device. Those filthy, filthy Asians, they make these contraptions. We lost another row this week, and I'm going till that thing is just a square, doesn't exist at all. I hate it. I hate it with all my heart.
You do? Unfortunately, I bought a new abacus, and I'm going to give it to him on his birthday at Stand Up New York. That's why I wanted to ask, was it really broken? Did my eyes deceive me on air?
Oh, it's
broken.
I wasn't
going to bring it.
Well, listen, it's a new year anyway. I feel like we need a new abacus every year, so I'll allow it. But I would like to smash that thing once and for all before it's done. Now,
now you'll have your chance because there'll be a new abacus waiting in the wings. You can destroy.
Maybe we can grab the old abacus from the studio and have like a sacrifice at Gino's show.
That's
like
a great idea. And
like a
you know,
Viking
Steve
funeral.
could get it, or someone could, run by before Thursday night and grab it.
And
I
of
think
course,
we're off next
the
week.
show you're talking about, Carl, is next Thursday, the 29th. Stand Up NY, Gino's birthday show. Just come watch Gino get hammered. See if he can give you COVID for the second. This will be 2 years in a row for me if I get COVID from Gino.
Uh-huh.
The great Steve will be there doing his prop experience where you've been coaching. Are you doing now? Are you going to be allowed to? Is Gino going to invite you to that and not give you time too?
Okay, so I went back and I listened to the segment in which he invited me down to LOL. In truth, he just said, "Come hang with us." That's all he said. Come hang with us. I was the one who was like, "Oh, I got a spot, dude."
Well, I mean, I don't blame. Oh no, can we do that? I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. Our bud Carl.
We're not doing that on air.
We could do it here. God, we need
No,
all the
this will be private. The day this happens.
No, you got to R. Bud Dwyer it. Write letters for everybody. Do it in hot water.
Oh, I'll leave a note.
Yeah, right. So that piece of shit invited you over. It's LOL. He should be able to get you on for a few.
That's what I thought too. And also in his defense, I'm not accusing him of anything, but he did go up to the guy who was bringing people up, the host, and he's like, "What time's Carl's spot?" And he goes, "Carl doesn't have a spot." So he walked past, then he turned around and he came back and he goes, "I think Carl should get a spot. What time, right before me?" He goes, "Carl's not getting a spot." So he tried.
All right. We're just having fun, obviously. Yeah. Well, that's all right. All right. So you're coming to the show next week, Carl.
Yeah, and I hope I have a spot. I think
you'll get it.
5.5 minutes in. I'm bringing my raunchiest stuff.
You can open for the great Steve Areno.
Yeah.
A lot of people will kill for that spot.
Looking forward to this prop comedy. Is it really, really what he promises? Now, he keeps saying I'm his head writer, but I've never consulted him about this ever. So we'll see what really happens.
Well, we discussed this on the dump this last Tuesday. I discussed it with him because I offered my services as an assistant, of course.
Yeah.
And
wait, as an assistant, like you'll have the props and
yes, I have Liz, a little behind the scenes for our fine viewers here and listeners. I already have a top hat. I got a white pair of gloves. I sent Steve a long-tailed coat with a steampunk coat with vest that he should buy for $25. But we discussed it. This is not Steve will not be doing a comedy show. Is an experience. It's the Steve Conti prop comedy experience. People will come in. You're going to leave differently than when you walked in. I promise you that. After you won't believe, we're going to cross reality past the astral plane and bring you back. It'll be whatever you were before that show will be no more. I promise you that.
You'll be larger than you were going in. You'll be a bigger person now with more experience.
It's a Stancil Christmas spectacular. Let's bring in another guest. Why not? All the classics. The great Stevie Lou, ladies and gentlemen.
Then one foggy Christmas Eve. Why was it a foggy Christmas Eve, Jim? Carl? Was it because Santa was smoking a big fat one?
Well, what happened was there was precipitation the day before and the temperature warmed up, and that's what causes evaporation. You see, you learn things on this fucking show, not like many others. You learn a lot, especially on the Stancil Christmas Spectacular. It's unbelievable. Stevie Lou, you were on Sad Chad. Was that last night?
It was 2 nights ago, but I was on Ray DeVito. I was on
that's what I was talking to you
last night. Oh, yeah. Ray was taking some cheap shots at you last night.
Ray's got the link. Ray may join us as well. It's a Christmas spectacular. Ray DeVito will be on in 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Please make sure you confront him about 2 things: about the shit talk that he was doing to you last night without you being there, and also that he made this guy Cardiff Electric cry on air.
Well, I'll definitely ask that because I'm not the. I'm curious about. I can't wait to hear that because I'm not the biggest fan of Cardiff Electric. Not that I'm not a fan. I can go either way. I don't have anything against him. I just don't think he's terribly funny.
He takes a little time to grow on you. You know, I mean, he's a potato.
I'm not shitting on him. I'm just being honest. I'm not going to, oh, everybody's great. Everybody's great. If I don't like somebody, I'll tell you. And I hope Cardiff respects that. I would love to have Cardiff on or go on his show, blah, blah, who gives a fuck. But I would definitely ask Ray.
You know who I can't, I'll be honest.
Let's go around. It's a Stancil Christmas. Let's go around and talk about who we don't like.
Who I can't stand. I don't know. Do you know this guy who comes in on Mondays for In Hot Water every once in a while? I can't stand that fucking guy. Shit, that's Carl.
He doesn't have the jokes, so he threw you off. He's got that.
No, that's not his. No, his name is Carl. We just say Carl.
Thank you, Stevie. And listen, Stevie Lou. I thought we were getting rid of that, and you're Stephen Lewis.
Me and Carl have naming problems.
Branding issues.
Well, as I said, I'm terrible at hosting the shows. Let me see if I have anything written down here. Oh, Gino owes me $1,000. Gino owes me $1,000, folks. I guaranteed on the air on his show and this show the same week that him and Brennan would be friends by February. They didn't even make it to the new year. So Gino owes me $1,000. Wow. I was right. By the way, I did a Patreon Stancil Culture last night that's out. Just listing off all the things I was right about, continue to be right about.
Now, let me ask you about that, Jim, because I saw on Twitter, I thought it was at the Christmas kegger last Thursday across the street. I saw a picture in which they were together. They're not friends. Am I wrong on that? I saw it on Twitter.
That was yesterday or Thursday. That was Thursday, not last.
Aren't they back together now?
They're back together. Everything is right with the world, Carl. Brennan was on the sports show. Brian McCarthy and Brennan were on Kumi's show. It's all right. We'll forget somebody that steals stuff ever existed in a mere matter of weeks.
He's a faggot.
Hey, this guy gets it. I wish I had a Christmas drop I could play after that.
Hey, Jim, though, let me say one thing, man. If I know the one thing that's predictable about our crew is that they're unpredictable. So I want to see Monday when Gino's back after vacation if this whole little armistice peace treaty stands up. Because if I was a betting man, I wouldn't put money down that this whole one night lay down. It was the Christmas armistice. They call that, right? It wasn't there a famous thing where they stopped fighting in World War II?
The Hessians.
Christmas.
Wow. See, I told you to learn stuff. I don't know, but let's just say yeah. Why not? Listen, you're absolutely right. I guarantee I'd like to do a Stancil Stradamus prediction. Listen, I'm going to say I think they're fine, but oh yeah, Monday's MLC. Kevin will be talking about how he was drunk. He didn't want to go on. He said, fuck it, it was Christmas. He still thinks he's an idiot and his girlfriend is bony. But the point is, we know what's going on. It's all good. So let's fade out Chad. Let's fade in Stevie. And let's just move on. Let's get back to actual funny people on MLC. Carl, who do you hate?
Who do I hate?
What's the guy's name? Giovanni. What's the guy at LOL? It's.
I don't really. No, I don't hate that guy. I don't have beef with other. I don't know. I'm not that kind of guy. I really don't hate people.
You're too nice, Carl. You're like Ray. You and Ray. You got to be on with Ray, the two nicest guys in comedy.
No, I'm sure I hate somebody. Oh, Carl. Yeah. Okay. John Moses. Do you know him?
Yeah, he built the bridges so blacks couldn't go to Long Island or something.
That was Robert Moses. Robert Moses, Jim.
Well, John Moses is a comedian, and he was at Scotty's, and I thought I was doing okay, but I do these stupid jokes, I wouldn't call
No, not you.
So he was not a fan of that. He didn't appreciate it. Never mind, everyone's laughing. So when he came up, I introduced him. Nice introduction. He wiped his wet hands off me on my back, and then he criticized Gene for booking me each week. He called me a retard, and I'm in the special.
Oh, John Moses, the red hair. He has red hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't like John Moses. If I'm going to have beef with anyone in this world, I guess it would be him.
Well, funny you say that. Here's our next guest, John Moses. I don't have that kind of pull.
I see John Moses was a fucking Seattle Mariner from like 1982 to 92. That's the only John Moses comes up.
Are you Googling him? And
he's not.
That's great news.
No. But you know what? Let me tell you. This guy,
Google
John
Carl
Moses,
DeJokes.
this guy John Moses sounds like a fucking amateur. Because let me tell you guys something.
Oh, here we go.
That you don't do as a professional comedian. There's like 2 rules. You don't make fun of the room, and you don't make fun of the host unless you're a scumbag and you got no material. You're there to do one thing: to tell jokes to the audience and make them laugh. Anytime you start doing this stupid shit where you start making fun of the crowd that they suck or whatever, that is a tell in the business that you didn't bring your A game or you don't have an A game at all, and you're just an amateur like Chad Zumach.
Listen, I got to be fair, even though I really don't like this guy. He is a professional. He does have a career. He was headlining at the Cove. He just used me to get the laugh in the beginning, and then he went on with his act. I still hate him, but let's be fair. He's for real. He's got to, he's out there and getting booked, and he's for real.
Say something really nasty about John Moses, Carl. I want to hear it right now. Come on.
I just think he's wrong. I don't have something nasty to say. He was wrong that I'm not a retard and I've never been in the Special Olympics. And if I was in the Special Olympics, I would kill. Gold medals.
I was in special ed, Carl. Can you believe that?
Terrific.
I rode a short bus. I rode a short bus for a year and a half. Now I was there as our viewers know, and I was there for behavior reasons. I wasn't there I wasn't licking paint or whatever. So
I've seen your 3rd grade notebook, Jim. You definitely.
You know what? Let's do a reading. It's Christmas. We haven't done a reading in a while. I got it right here. It's a Stancil. Hold on. We got to play the Notebook music. That's what happens when I host a show.
Yeah. Love that film, The Notebook.
But really quick, Carl, you're not going to get anywhere in this business without fucking starting a few fights. Just look at me. All right, buddy?
You have it? Okay. I don't know. It's just not in my DNA. Like, I think it's a waste of time. Like, fuck that John Moses guy, and the best thing to do is ignore him.
Yes, that's true.
I'm sure I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong there.
Also, I would have never said this had you guys not insisted I pull up somebody, but let's go to the Notebook.
Let's go to the Notebook. Here we go. This music lets you know it's Notebook time. It's been a while. We haven't read out of the old Notebook, and this was a weekly bit for a while. So it's a Christmas. There it is. That's the Notebook music. All right, here we go. So, Carl, a quick recap for you, Carl. Anybody who wasn't here. This is my notebook from 3rd to 4th, whatever grade. My teacher started making me do because I was so angry all the time I wouldn't talk to anyone.
Yeah, it's a little trick that they do for the troubled children. They go, hey, can you maybe just write down what you're thinking in this book?
So the teacher would write a question each day, and I would answer. So here we go. Hey, what do you think of the great days you have been having? Me. I think it's good, but I don't think I'll have a good day today. I don't care if I don't get anything. All right.
A little cynical son of a bitch at the age of 9.
I wrote angry faces inside. I don't think I'll be good today.
Yeah.
These are your thoughts. You were doing the assignment.
May 16th, 94. Write about the Knicks-Bulls game and how the Bulls just got lucky. The Bulls won, or I don't know the score. Next question. Would you like to write about being a catcher? The good and bad points. I was an all-star catcher in Little League. I'll have everyone know as well. Yeah, thank you, Carl. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, Carl, he went on to play lacrosse at an all-American level in college as well.
Thank you, Stevie. That's correct. Thank you. My answer. I don't really like being a catcher. All I do is get a ball thrown to me. Nobody ever throws to me when a man is coming home.
Dude, I used to catch in Little League as well because no one wanted to do it.
Exactly.
If you were a tough guy, you're like, I'll do this shit. And there was nothing more exhilarating when you saw a guy rounding second and there was a chance he was coming home and you had that chance to be the hero.
Yeah.
And they never relayed it in. Never.
We'll do 2 more. Why was yesterday so ridiculous? I must have been
That's
bad.
her question to you?
That's her question. I said, I don't know. Probably because I knew we were going to have music. I was in a grumpy mood. All right, well, this will be the last one. May 19th, 1994. I drew a picture for this. What do you like to do when it rains? When it rains, I like to play with my dog inside. I run around in a circle. First I go through the kitchen, then I go around the living room. When he gets me, he jumps on my back. Sometimes he's smart and he goes the opposite direction.
I love that game. That's a great
There's
game.
a picture of... I don't know how this fucking... There it is. It's a picture of me running from the dog.
Very nice depiction.
And there you have it. There's the latest edition of Stancil's Retarded Journal.
Dude,
So
can you
what
imagine?
did you do in college for lacrosse? You were at a high level. Tell me about this.
I was at a low level, but I was a high level. I was a club All-American. Club
All-American.
MCLA to MCLA All-American, Men's Club Lacrosse Association. So it was not NCAA. So I'm less than.
Yeah, but we've seen videos of him, Carl. Recently, he plays in an alumni game at his hometown, and this kid he's winning ground balls. He's putting guys on their ass that are
Oldest guy there had an assist. This kid still got it.
Lacrosse only the East Coast? Because I think some Indian tribe, right, on the East Coast made up lacrosse. I mean, is it nationwide?
Oh, Carl, I'll educate you. It's a Native American, and I'm sure everyone listening love to hear me talk about lacrosse. It's a Native American game. It was made by the Natives American all across this great land. They were
known as the Lenape.
Lenape.
No, I just made that up.
You're right. No, but you're right. I think.
All the tribes played it different ways. They referred to it as the creator's game because the idea was you play to please the gods, and it was a way for them to practice war. And so we like to say it's America's original pastime, not that crazy baseball game. And then the filthy French, when they were settling Canada or whatever they were doing, they were the names who gave it the name lacrosse because it looked like a cross. Yeah, because it looked like a cross.
Hey, I'm drinking a LaCroix right now.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's so
Folks,
French of you.
The spectacular keeps going and keeps growing. You know him. You love him.
Hey,
big-time comedian Ray Devito. Welcome to the Stancils Christmas Spectacular, Ray. We're here with Carl DeJokes and Stevie Lou, who you may know from your show just last night.
I'm like, me and Ray are like podcast roommates. I see him before I go to bed. Now I see him in the morning.
Yeah.
Jeez. I
heard we were shitting on John Moses. Let's get him.
Oh, here we go.
Well, hold on, Ray. We had a lot of issues to get through.
No, but he shat on me. I'm not shitting on him as much as he shat on me for no good reason. Fuck him.
Let's get him.
I'm gonna rename this "Fuck John Moses," and I'm gonna put it in quotations, Carl.
Now I've got a beef. Now I finally have a beef.
Now, Ray, you're not allowed to have fun until we take care of you're not allowed to laugh or say anything funny until we take care. Now, I tuned in to your fine program last night. I was sitting around, farting on my nuts, and I saw you were on, and I tuned in, said hello. And you basically just start shitting on me, and I heard you were shitting on me when I wasn't even there. You care to explain yourself?
Yeah, man. I said Stevie's. If I'm Big Lebowski, if I'm the dude, I said he's my Walter. He goes, who's going to be Donnie? And I said Stancil's got to be Donnie.
Yeah.
I said Stancil's got to be Donnie. Hell yeah!
And
I know Donnie.
You're out of your element, Stancil. You're out of your element.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi. Stancil?
You think you're better than Steve Buscemi? Oh, wow.
No, but his character in that film was extremely flat and boring. He was always shit on by Walter. It was a terrible role for him. Anybody could have done it.
Yeah, I'm
Shut the fuck up, Carl.
One man's opinion.
I know. I'm what's his name? I'm John Torturo. I'm
Jesus.
I'm polishing the ball and doing this to the ball.
You're not allowed.
Yeah, fuck you, Ray. Ray, you're the most fucking Donnie here. Maybe ever.
Oh, Jesus.
You are the most Donnie. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
I don't worry about it, dude. I don't worry about it. I don't worry about it. Oh, I don't do this. Oh, don't worry about it. I don't have to be on that show.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
He's like,
hey, listen, you play in the kitchen and then you get fire or something.
Pots and pans fall on you. I get it.
That's right. Pots and pans. That's how they name Asian kids.
Oh,
I think you're way off base. I think he's a ray of sunshine so far. So far.
Oh, I get it. Ray. I see.
You're the only guy that almost make out with me.
Yeah, listen, Ray. Don't blame me. Listen. I saw you at the stand the other week. I was trying to help you out. I was trying to look at. I came, when I started talking to you. That's when Louis J. Gomez came over. Did you notice that? It took me talking to you for him to come over and say hi to you.
Otherwise, he has no clue who I am. Never mind, I podcast in his studio. He has no idea who I am.
I know
Did you guys know that Donnie's first name wasn't Donnie? His name is actually Theodore Donald Karabatsos.
Oh,
Theodore.
I did not know that.
Yeah, at the end they say his full name. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I guess there's no really explanation for why he took his middle name as his full name.
The explanation is Theodore.
Oh, right, yeah.
What they're saying is, Stancil, your ashes belong in a coffee can.
They do. I could probably fit mine in a fucking thimble. I'm only 5 feet tall.
They get him mixed up with his fucking weed ashtray, though.
Oh yeah, put my ashes in a grinder.
In a weed
now,
grinder.
what happened? I tuned in late to your program. I was saying earlier, I'm interested in this because I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of him. But you walked Cardiff Electric off your podcast, or you made him cry. What happened?
Whoa,
yeah.
You
know how vicious I can be. I'm very mean.
You are.
I'm very mean. I'm very vicious.
I mean, he was blaming it on
the
me.
Nicest guy in comedy.
He was saying that being Donnie, I influenced him to just attack everyone last night.
Yeah.
What did you? So what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
No, I was shitting on myself. It was a podcast that I did. He was on, and Stevie Rochelle from the band Tough, an 80s hair band. And I didn't do the research. I did not know that they had this website, Metal Sludge, where it's like the TMZ of metal. And I was mad at myself for not doing the research, knowing that, and getting all these like
you didn't do the show prep.
Yeah, I didn't do the show prep. So I was mad at myself that I was disappointed in myself for not knowing that and doing that. And so I was just saying, and then it turns out he's playing a character. I will admit, and Stevie will admit, I thought for a second he was being serious. And he was like, you hurt my feelings. I thought that was a real, and then he started crying. I thought he was really crying. It turns out, I assume he's fake crying, because then a few minutes later, to be the mediator, Stuttering John the Puppet came in.
No, sorry, it's SJ Puppet. We don't want to get sued.
Don't want to get sued. And he came in. He started roasting me and Stevie and giving me shit for making Cardiff cry. And then I realized, like, it was all a bit. It was all a bit. It was a fun bit. That puppet was pretty funny. The Stuttering J Puppet was very funny.
He started calling me a hippie. That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. He had me cracking up. He was giving me some guff.
Yeah, and like I said, the puppet want to know what happened. I wasn't good on this podcast. Like, really, just one podcast you weren't good on?
Yeah,
you got to be more specific. And I was like, all right, touche. I stink all over the place, Stancil.
It was a funny episode, Ray. You should think about putting that one up public. I know you said that's going to be on your Patreon.
No, I think it's going to be the Monday episode. I think
good. But folks, if you don't subscribe to Ray DeVito's Patreon, you got to get out there, get on top of that.
We don't have
it's only a few bucks, Ray. What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you don't want to do that, then I also suggest, if you're watching this right now or in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button over there on the Ski Mask Collective feed, because we gotta get these motherfuckers over 1,000 subscribers so that our homeboy David Chandler can start throwing some bucks your way.
Yes, so David Chandler can put Vinny Cash in a body bag. They're really battling it out. Our one percenters.
Oh, here. Nice.
Vinny Cash versus David Chandler. It's a battle of the heavyweights, big money heavyweights.
Yeah, I don't know. I think David Chandler must have some sort of terminal disease that he's only got a few more days to live, and he's just getting all of his cash out into the comedy world. Which, come on, what's better than that?
I like David Chandler. Check out my podcast sometime.
Don't check out the podcast, David. Now, Carl, hold on. Carl, someone said you picked your nose and ate it. Care to comment on that?
Is
Are you-
that John Moses? Is this John Moses?
John Moses is in the chat. He said Carl just picked his nose with his thumb, then put it in his mouth. That's nasty.
I didn't, but okay.
Carl. All right.
Pièce de résistance.
That's
You guys
great.
eat your boogers? That was something I
Never.
never did.
No, I'm a grown ass man.
No, I never ate my
Attaboy.
booger.
I do not eat my boogers.
All right.
I mean, I guess if you did like, a lot of blow, a
That's totally
lot of
different.
blow, and then
Yeah,
there's a
it's
big
extra.
fucking honkaluga that's still up in there, and you're just like out of blow. You just fucking get up in there, and then you're
I know. Yeah, the
Then I
bonus.
would eat my boogers.
Yeah, Coke boogers. That's
Carl,
the whole
how do you know
business.
these guys? Can I ask Carl how he knows you guys? What's
No, you can't. I wanted to talk about some.
In hot water. In hot water.
all right. Stancil's new best friend. He
What do you
took-
think of
Hey,
in hot water?
What's going on? Are they back? Gino and Kevin friends again?
Yeah, they're all friends. How come Gino and you aren't friends? Why does Gino hate you so much? I don't even get it.
Gino doesn't hate me. I just.
Oh, he hates you.
Okay, man.
Let me tell
Oh,
you
he-
something.
Oh, really? Oh, all right. Well, that's
Oh,
news
yeah.
to me.
Oh,
No,
he
he
hates
said
you.
it. All right, then he's allowed to hate me.
Just so you know, Gino hates you. Hey, you should come in Tuesday, January 10th, Ray. Come in with me as my guest on In Hot Water, and let's build some bridges. How about that?
Look at that. I think that would be a great episode. Either you're going to build a bridge or the fucking thing is going to burn like a gas station on fire.
I
That's a
don't.
real invite. I'll text you.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not in New York then. I'll be in New York
Ah.
the week before. But
No.
yeah,
He's
I
off
know.
that week.
No,
No, I
you have
don't.
a
I don't
chance.
hate Gino. If Gino really has a problem with me,
Am I wrong?
Would you
think-
break
last
his
time I
jaw?
saw him, he was yelling at me, and then when he saw he wasn't getting any reaction out of me, he gave me a hug and bought me a shot and a beer. So I it was like, all right,
Wait, Gino was in a bar and he was
yeah.
buying
Can you
alcohol?
believe it? The same bar he got punched at. You think if I got punched at a bar, I quit going there?
Hollow
I'd be like,
ground.
I'd be like,
Mullins
wait a
is
minute.
his joint. No. Pat Dixon was crashing the party.
If I couldn't go into the bars that I've been punched in, I'd have like no bars.
You'd
to
have
go
no
in in my
bars
city.
to
I'm
go
fucking
to.
a lot of fighting.
Guy, Carl, what do you think of this comment? This isn't very nice, is it?
Oh my god.
I'll put it on the
Okay.
screen. Let's put it on the screen.
Maybe Carl, spelled wrong, could go somewhere that isn't no apostrophe on camera. Thanks,
Oh.
bro.
Well, they were talking to Carl with the K. They weren't talking to you. You're Carl with the C.
Bingo.
Good point.
This is clearly
point,
a different
Ray.
Carl.
I wanna
They're
give you-
talking about the.
You guys are in the biz. And you know how anything works. I want to know your opinions, your thoughts on this, because I thought this was a bit ridiculous. I saw the Legion of Skanks did their pre-sale for Skank Fest next year, and the pre-sale price for VIP tickets for, what is it, 4 nights? Right? I guess Thursday to
Okay.
Sunday,
Grip?
right?
Was it a solid grip?
Was
Over $1,000?
No, it was $444 with the discount.
Oh.
So I imagine they're $500 regular. I don't know. That sounded like a lot to me just for a ticket. I know it's 4 nights, but that sounded like a lot to me.
I think honestly though, if you look at the and I'm going to be a nerd here, not be funny. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
If you go just like to the cost
Nothing on-
history, the price history of previous Skankfests, I've been, I'm in with those guys over there, so I've performed, never had to buy a ticket, but I think it's been up in the 300s for the 3-day event when it was in like Houston or if it was in Brooklyn, and I think that they're just probably following a slight incremental increase. And I know with the amount of shit that goes on at a Skankfest, you'll get every dollar's worth.
Yeah, you know how much
know.
free weed you will be smoking and how many free edibles you'll be eating that weekend if you're into it. Yeah, no, they're gonna have no problem selling out. They're gonna do just
I
fine.
mean, they'll sell it. Seems like they're getting a bit greedy, in my humble opinion.
Look at you taking on Legion of Wow. One
I've
guy's
never
going
even-
after
nobody
John
ever-
Moses, another one going after Big J and the boys.
Listen, it's
Yeah, Ray,
Wow.
listen, you're going after
Prices, it's the
puppets.
Legion of Banks.
Yeah, you don't blame the people that are doing the charging. You blame the people that are buying those tickets. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't worth it, they wouldn't sell out and they're gonna sell out. So good for them for squeezing that fucking lemon, you know?
I guess. Good for them. Good for them for draining their fans of all their worth because they're not worth much. So
No, stop. No, I use their studio.
Nobody invites me to Gas. I've never been invited to Gas Digital. I'm gonna do
This is
this.
gonna
I'm
get-
invited.
You're gonna get Ray kicked out of Gas Digital right now if you keep
Good.
going down
Kick
this
me
road.
in. Kick Ray out.
Kick me in.
There
I
is
got kicked in.
They do have a porch back there. You could sleep on the porch. You'd be great there.
Oh, I love them. I do love porches.
You'd fit in just fine.
Yeah.
The what the hell was I going to say? Oh, well, I guess if I have to give the skanks any grief, it would be my roommate that killed his mom. I met him because of skanks, because he was a big Legion of Skanks fan. I thought he was an open micer comic that was always hanging at the creek, but no, he was a skank fan, and he would always be there for Legion of Skanks podcast. No, he was a great guy outside of killing
Skanks fans. Ray DeVito.
Outside
Skanks
of killing
fans
his
kill
mom.
their parents. Skanks fans kill their parents.
Just
Ray
one
DeVito
did.
said
No,
it.
there was the one Skanks fan.
There was
or
one
OP
skank. It's my roommate. Maybe him being my roommate is what pushed him over the edge.
There was the guy that
Some say
ran.
it could have been schizophrenia that pushed him over the edge.
No,
Gets a
it was
what?
living
Say that.
living with
say
you.
that word. Say that word again.
Schizophrenia.
All right.
It's all
First
right.
time it was a little different. Mo, but wasn't there the Legion of Skanks fan who famously ran from the police with his child in the back seat and then crashed his car and the kid died and he like left the kid and ran further? I think that's.
Oh, I don't know. I just know my roommate, and then my roommate came back and tried to live with me after he killed his
I don't
mom.
know. Either I'm talking
Oh my
about Grand
You're
Theft
bearing the
Auto 5.
lead, Steve. I'm
Right, you told the story 5 times. You told it on fucking Kevin Brennan's the other day. All right.
Whoa,
We don't need to hear
whoa!
the
You
story
guys,
over
calm
again,
down, calm down. I know you were podcasting all night together. This is like boyfriend girlfriend.
Walter, it's not
experience.
about now. It's not
Right, you
always
lived-
about now.
Right, you lived in a house of horrors.
It's not
that's for
literally
sure.
about now.
Junior Coltrane. Who doesn't, man? Anyway, yeah, Ray. I was like, you had one guy who was collecting his piss in jars. You had another guy who murdered his mom. What the
Ray,
fuck,
you
dude? Are
gotta stop
And
trusting
neither one
people.
of those were my worst roommate. Neither one of those. My worst roommate is now dead of a heroin overdose, but he was a piece of shit for not paying rent for 3 months. My landlord, we would just leave it in an envelope on the door. And it wasn't until month fucking 4, my landlord goes, "Hey, just to let you know, last 3 months, I only got 2 out of the 3 checks." So he waited till month 4 to tell me that. And I'm the only one on the lease. And then when I brought it up to my roommate, he's like, he got mad at me for bringing it up. Like I'm somehow a dick for not letting him live rent free. So I
And then
kicked
he
him out.
OD'd and he OD'd and killed himself
Yeah,
because so
looks
you
like-
basically killed him,
who won?
right? You understand
who won,
that, right? You killed him. You understand that, right?
Well,
Right.
he kind of saved my life because of him. He would come
way to
back.
return the favor.
He would come back in the middle of the night and crash on the couch. So I had to change the lock. And me changing the lock is the reason why the guy who killed his mom couldn't get back in our apartment because he didn't have the key to that new
Ray,
lock.
this is
So-
sad. How was the
I
guy?
live it, and you thought your life was rough.
Oh, it is rough life. Rough life.
It is. He
Put a
hasn't
leash
had
on it.
sex.
Well, listen, calm down, Carl. Calm down.
Well,
One-
well, you got to fix that.
one
dude.
thing at a
It's so
time.
easy to
What-
Fix.
Why did the guy who killed his mother? Why was he free to ask you if he could live with you?
No, he just came. He was on the run. He just
Oh,
came.
good.
He had to
Good,
leave
good.
Virginia, and he had to
Oh, my
he
God.
had to get out of Virginia. So he came to New York City, and he's like, "I'll just go to my old apartment."
Jesus.
Nuts.
And I was there with open arms, being like, "Hey,
You would.
why are
Nicest guy.
all
The-
bloody?"
two of the nicest guys in comedy on this podcast, both shitting all over people in the industry. Unbelievable.
Ray, could
Who
you
would've
take
thought?
the guy? If the guy came at you like you were going to be the next victim, could you have taken him? You
No,
think?
he was a big dude. No, he was a big dude.
Fuck. We could have lost you, bro.
Yeah, he was a big guy. On top of it, he was a sweetheart when he wasn't having an episode.
Mm.
But when
Aren't
he
we
was
all?
having,
Aren't we all, Ray? Aren't we all?
Bobby, the great Bobby Tamburo says hi to everyone. He was going to jump on, but he's stuck in traffic. But I wanted to. And the great Bobby, if you didn't see the show, Sad Chad the other night, he gave me this microphone.
You're cutting in and out. You're like, it's like a weird click with your microphone.
Yeah,
That's my microphone.
I've given up trying anything. It's probably the internet.
Just everything
Bobby,
in
join
life.
on
I
your
just
cell
gave
phone.
up.
Yeah. It's
Bobby,
the same.
join on the cell.
It's the same setup every week, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Talk about it every week. Yeah, I don't know.
The great Bobby has a brand new episode of Bobby's World that just came out on Compound Media.
Yep.
You got to go to collections, then you got to go to extras, and then you'll see Bobby's World. I've been very lucky to have been brought in as a part of that team, and we had a lot of fun on the most recent episode and the episode before that, but we're definitely building. We're getting better and better each week or each month. So I think he still has a Christmas episode that should be coming out ASAP, or maybe I'm spilling some beans here. I shouldn't. But bottom line, check out Bobby's World. We're going to keep doing that shit, and it's going to keep getting better and better, and it's already awesome.
We can go around. I didn't have much else. I just wanted to pop on. If you guys don't have anything else to talk about, we can wrap her up.
I do. Stevie Lou, what about Brooklyn Comedy Club? We got to do this again.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk off air. We'll plan something for 2023 for sure, Carl.
I thought you quit on them. That's why I brought it up. You're back in their good graces, or?
I don't think it's really for air, but we can talk.
This is the show.
Ray and I also.
Yeah,
I know. I used to. Let's go. I used to have a monthly show there. Starting, like you guys knew, I had a monthly show called Working Man.
No, that's different.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the same place. Old Man Hustle,
okay.
Brooklyn Comedy Club, but there is an Old Man Hustle in Manhattan as well. They've opened up one right on the waterfront, Brooklyn, Bedford Avenue. It's one of the hottest spots in Manhattan and the 5 boroughs right now. I was doing a great show there once a month, and then it just ran its course. We'll say that, So we were putting in good crowds and getting good performers. Everybody was getting paid. We were having a good time, and then they wanted to change the deal. They wanted to change the deal, not in my favor. So I'm not someone who goes backwards on shit like that, and I no longer have that show there. So I've done a show there with Ray recently. We had a good time. We may or may not be performing there again. But listen, Carl, I've been doing this for a little while. We'll find another spot to do shows. If it's not Brooklyn Comedy Club, we'll find a really awesome venue that'll have us. Trust me.
All right. Sounds great. Listen, can I plug something?
Please. Nice. Very nice. For our listeners, he's putting his fingers up his nose.
He's putting his fingers.
Beautiful.
All right. Carl, where do you live, man?
You had to be there. It was hilarious. I live in the same town as Kevin Dombrowski, Kinnelon, New Jersey.
There you go.
New Jersey. All right. Cool.
But yeah, if anybody who's out there wants to check out this Blunt Smoker video, is my new podcast that I have out right now. We're on, I think, our 5th episode, and we did Human Centipede 2 for our Christmas episode. So you guys can find that on Spotify. I post on it on my Twitter. So.
Yeah, I did. I did not like that Human Centipede 2. I mean, it had 6 legs. 6 legs is not a centipede make.
Yeah, that's only more legs than I have. That's only 4 more legs than I have. Am I 1/3 a centipede?
What's your plugs, Ray? What do you want to plug, Ray? Ray, where will you be? What do you want people to follow?
I couldn't have any more horror stories about roommates. You guys are like, all right, this is boring. I got one guy trying to kill people, another one.
You told me my mic sucks.
Another one, a heroin addict, another one pissing in Gatorade things. And like, yeah, this is boring. Anyways, what else? All right, you're a tough man to please, Stancil. He's wearing.
I'm not good. This is why I don't host. I don't know how to host a show.
He's wearing a sports jacket like he's going to court, yet he's got no shirt on underneath. Just fucking. That's his bathrobe. Is a fucking Men's Warehouse sports jacket.
Holy shit, Ray! Come on, have some class. You're just
new Kevin.
Can't do this. It's Christmas.
Ray Brennan over here.
Jesus,
calm down, Ray. What are you doing for Christmas? And then plug your stuff.
I'm gonna go to my sister's place. Going to my sister's.
Is anyone there? Or are you just?
It's just me. I'm gonna be house sitting while they're out with their real families.
Is she gonna give you? Is she gonna give you your part of the inheritance for Christmas?
No, that's. You know what? I might do a one-man show where I talk about all that, and then that's the only way they'll know about it. But
Do you have some sort of two-man show that we don't know about?
no, I guess everything's. But I want to do everything
Everything's a
like the
one-man show,
whole.
right?
Yeah. All right, my plugs.
Yeah,
Well, I
please.
got 2 specials coming out. My dry bar, they say, is coming out. So the
When's
next
your next
batch-
one-man show? You,
one-man
you're-
show.
Honestly, just don't talk
You're a
about
stand-up
the
comic. They're
I
all
wouldn't-
one-man shows.
I wouldn't even mention that.
Yeah. But I got my own special coming out. That's being it'll be featured on Sirius XM. I'll get it
All right.
played in its entirety on Sirius XM. And the video was out. Stevie was at the taping. You were not there, Stancil. You're supposed to be
was
my
in-
friend.
I was in Colorado.
Ray, was the dry bar super squeaky clean? I think they insist on that, right?
Yes. Yeah, I shot it
Was it
a
tough?
long time ago.
Mhm.
No, it wasn't tough. I'm fucking magical, Carl.
They
I'm fucking
overcooked the
magical.
bar.
No offense to Ray, but the dry bar people are a bunch of scumbag fucks. So,
Yeah. Merry
You know.
Christmas.
Anyway.
Merry Christmas to you, dry bar.
Anyways, do not attach my name to this podcast.
I'm putting it.
That's
right
fine. We
here.
weren't planning on it anyway, Ray. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
But yeah, all right. Check out my podcast, Rock Bottom Podcast with Ray Devito. Just go to the YouTube, hit subscribe to that if you want. Also, Ray Devito on YouTube. Now that you can monetize, because I'm over 1,000 on my regular YouTube, I should
Nice.
just podcast, do live podcasts on
yes.
my regular YouTube channel. That way I can monetize it, because my
Yes.
other one's only at like 500 and something, and I don't really plug it. So, but patreon.com, Ray DeVito. But check out my podcast. They're fucking good. I don't stink, except for the one that I did with
You should
whenever a
leave that out.
potato's involved. Whenever a potato's involved, it's right in the shitter. Yeah, I'm saying that, Cardiff Electric.
Dude, I
Wow,
told you
this
that you're
this
being-
show brings out the worst in Ray. I love it.
Yeah. I turn into Stancil when I do Stancil. Anytime
I
I'm near
love it.
Stancil,
Yeah, take
I
that
try
shit
to-
off.
I try to out Stancil if that's
I love it.
possible.
I love
It's a
How
it.
do you
loser-
out-
it's a loser's game right there.
Yeah,
Well,
you can't
yeah.
out Stancil.
The winner loses this game. My life stinks. Carl, what do you have?
Just go to carlsucks.com.
There you
Nice.
go. Well,
It's all
Jesus. I did a sports mass yesterday. The game's already started. Go throw it on while you're watching the
Let's
games.
go Brownies.
I did a Stancil culture. That's Patreon only yesterday as well. That's up. Sad Chad will be back very soon, I'm sure. Everyone, ignore your families. Watch football. Get so drunk. You do things you'll never be able to take back. Everyone, enjoy your holidays.
Rest in peace, Franco Harris. Immaculate reception.
Shout out
50th
Franco
anniversary.
Harris. That ball touched the ground. It's all a fraud. The Jews did 9/11. Have a good one, everyone. Take
Merry
care.
Christmas.
Merry
Peace.
Christmas.